Welcome to Talk Cosmos, the show where Sue Rose Minahan and her panel of guests bring you leading-edge astrology conversations through a journey of soul growth patterns connecting astrology's energetic cycles. Get ready to understand your path in the cosmic roots of the stars.
Hello, I'm Sue Rose Minahan, the founder of Talk Cosmos, for inspired. I want to say inspirational. Yes, they are, but they're insightful conversations that awaken consciousness for your soul growth. And today is April 30th, 2023, and we have a great panel of 8 people, including myself, for Astro Jam. And I will just begin because these are mystery charts. The astrologers don't know what they are, and we have just very few clues. In other words, what century they're at, which isn't a lot. And it's like astrodrama, where people look at the energy of that planet and they express what they think it might be. It's not necessarily in conjunction to the whole chart, because every planet, that's how it operates in our brain. Mercury goes, yeah, I'm thinking this, blah, 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 and maybe something's hitting. And it's not just the planet, it's the consciousness of that planet. People have been on me about, no, it's not the planets. Yeah, I know it's not the planets, it's the consciousness. That's really how we in this mortal world, we still think of tables. Well, tables was an idea. Table has a lot of electrons and neurons. I know I'm getting a little bit out here, but there's a lot of space in there. And the space is consciousness, and we're raising it. Okay, so with all that said, now that we're in a big mystery and we're going to unsolve things or resolve things, whatever it is, dissolve things, because there's a lot of water and I'm spinning right now. Okay, so let's get to our panelists. We have Israel Ajose. And Israel, thank you, Nathan, if we could show Israel.
Astro Jam is where planets come to life and speak. Hear cosmic energies talk as they do in our minds and hearts. Always fun, exciting, and revealing, like a music jam full of surprise. This is your cast of Astro Jam.
Yes, hello. And in fact, I'll have to get you a new one that has Justin on it, because I had everything else hadn't. Well, hello. We have 8 folk, I believe we do. We're all here. And we'll start off with alphabetical. Israel Ajose down at the bottom. And he is the president of the Astrological Lodge of London, and also has his several websites. He has Sacred Planets and, of course, the Astrological Lodge of London. And you can find all his material at Talk Cosmos. We have Justin Crockett, Elzie, an archetypal astrologer, and his site is under his name, Justin Crockett, Elzie. We have Sean Kelley, and he has 2 sites. One is Anthology Brands and also Evolutionary Astro. And we have Sapp, who is the new publisher of the Mountain Astrologer magazine, and she has 2 sites, the mountainastrologer.com and also the Which Way Cafe. And we have Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching, and that is her site, padmalifecoaching.com. Also, Michael Bartlett, whose site is coremichael.com. And last but not least is Jennifer Ng, whose site is jeningress.com. So I apologize, we have these wonderful astrologers. They come from all over. Jen's in Toronto, Michael's in Santa Fe, Sean and Marie are in California, Justin in Washington, and Israel across the bay over there in England. So we're connecting from many spots. And at the half hour, we will offer a moment that each can tell you what they're really doing. So right now, thank you, Nathan, for your illustrious music. And let's get right to those charts because we have two. And we're going to do the first one in that first half hour. Oh, that's right. And here are all their sites for those folks that are on YouTube. And you can see them and also go to Talk Cosmos because they span every dimension of from Chinese astrology to horary, to electional, to numerology, to mundane, to you name it. We've got it. Okay. The first one is right here. This is our chart. And the big news is that it is in the 20th century. But I will tell you all that they relate to things happening now, both of these charts. And I did mention here on the sides for the public and for ourselves a little bit where the planets are and what they are. So as it goes, we identify ourselves as a planet and we can say what sign we're in and then just say what comes to your mind. Like, for instance, I'll start off. I'm the ascendant in Leo, and I like to.
Sue, you're muted.
You're muted.
Okay. Should I start again?
Yeah, we couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde.
Oh my gosh, when did it start or stop?
Just at the beginning of the ascendant.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, back to my Leo. You know, okay.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
You just revealed
what's going on.
Oh no, what's going on?
Oh, retrograde. There you go.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
Mercury retrograde.
I have Leo ascendant, and I'm being shushed by my fan here sitting down. And I like to teach things. I like to tell people what their roles are because, you know, life is a stage and everybody has a role. And by gosh, that's my job. I'm going to tell them. So now that it's revealed, let's just do more and just think spontaneous, okay? Yeah.
All right.
Go, anybody, bam.
What? First, what chart is this? I mean, I'm looking at the chart. No, because the reason I said it, I mean, it says 30th of April, 2023. And
that's today. That's today. I'm so sorry. I'm just identifying the chart only.
Okay.
It's it's
okay.
no.
It's their birth chart.
Yeah, and look at Pluto. That tells you a lot. Look at Pluto. It's 20th century.
Yeah, of course,
Pluto.
Of course. Right,
okay.
Right.
I know.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, like,
Well,
Neptune.
I didn't help
Venus
much.
is in Aries. Venus is in Gemini at the moment. What the hell? What chart is this?
Well, I'm going to guess. I think you're talking Mercury. And of course, I have Mercury and
Mercury retrograde strikes again.
Yeah. This is
Thank
great
you.
stuff.
That's
This
from
is
our
great
illustrious. I think, Israel, perhaps would you? This is great. Do you have something about Mercury there sitting at 11 degrees? Gemini?
Of Gemini? Well, he's in his own sign. I mean,
What do you have to say? What would you say if you were Mercury and Gemini right now?
Oh, well, Mercury in Gemini is great. It's fluid. It's versatile. It can adapt. It's willing and wanting to communicate on all levels. It's jumping from one thing to another extremely very quickly. So, Mercury in Gemini, it's the
Mercury likes to talk. I think
yeah.
because I'm the ascendant and I'm talking, I think, at the moment, talking from the ascendant's viewpoint, I'm going to teach people. And okay, go ahead.
And
Ray,
I'm Venus. Oh, sorry.
No, go
ahead.
and to our audience, we have 8 folks. Some have come in more and some haven't. The rules are, there are no rules. Okay. It's just like our body and our mind. These planets they sit in us in different ways, these consciousness, and they tell us our story of our life at our moment. And this is as though we're on stage. We're not delineating, we're experiencing. Okay. And pardon me if I did not, as I am representing myself as the ascendant right now, I realize as producer, Leo, producer, right? I neglected to tell all my great planets their roles. So just jump on in there. And if there's two of you, well, then just one back away or
Right.
tussle.
I like
Yeah.
to get a lot of attention with my Leo ascendant and in a fire sign with my Mars and Venus. And I can be a real trailblazer. I'm going to fight for what I believe in. And I won't really care what you think. I'm just going to do it in a big way and have fun with it, maybe annoy some people. But there's going to be some truth revealed, and you're going to notice me and my career.
And I am Mars in Sagittarius, and I work very well with Leo, the Leo ascendant. I have courage. I am courage to speak the truth. I have courage to seek the truth and to be creative. I know what I'm talking about, and nobody can tell me any different. I know it in my bones what the truth is. I see a goal. I go after that goal. I have no problems with
I'm a new moon
creating
in-
whatever
sorry.
it is I want.
Sorry. I'm a new moon in Taurus, and I am fairly conservative in my viewpoints and practical in the ways that I share things. And I like to use my Mercury and Gemini to kind of share things using both sides as ever I need to.
I am also the new moon in Taurus, and I am setting the course for a new manifestation that benefits humanity. And I'm coming out of a consideration of what looks to be a recent Saturn opposed Pluto type of scenario and rebuilding the way I appear to the world.
I'm Neptune in Scorpio, opposing that dark moon, asking you to submerge yourself into the deep, dark wells, lighting you up, making you so magnetic that people will be intrigued and want to hear what you say, even as they close their ears and run away.
I am Jupiter in Virgo and the third house, and I seek to grow and expand by helping others, looking for needing to fix something and looking at solutions and needing to fix something. I have to be careful of perfection, but I definitely have no issues with communications and getting my intentions out there.
I'm also the sun in Taurus, and I really like luxury, and security is important to me. But I also like to chill out with my Neptune in fifth house and just have some fun and not always work so hard with my Saturn in Taurus as well.
I am Pluto in Virgo, and I am always re-chewing everything I can even find to figure out what more can I, well, maybe I do destroy things. It's true. But I destroy things because they need refinement, by gosh, and I have the answer. And I have my buddy Jupiter there who makes things really big. And I am so impassioned and I'm committed, obsessed, maybe some people might say, but you know what? I just gotta speak. That Jupiter is going to get it out.
I am Uranus in Libra, and I get wonderful insight, sparks of insight that help me to see both sides of an issue. I am a part of a generation that is here to change, to be radical, to change the way we relate in relationships, to change the way we perceive in relationships. And I have individuated, I know who I am, and my perceptions are very balanced.
And carrying on from that, I will say I am Ceres in Aquarius in the 7th house, and being the mother of the grain basket, I am providing some kind of sense of security through marriage, but in a very eccentric way. I'm here to feed. I'm here to support on many levels the foundation of what marriage essentially is about. And being that I'm in the sign of Aquarius, it's something that will be somewhat progressive and will benefit humanity on a whole.
I am Saturn at 2nd degrees of Taurus in the 10th. And I square my Leo ascendant and Aquarius descendant. So security and working hard and achieving my life goals, that's a really important part of my identity. I'm always focused on that. And it's in some way to do with my values that are fresh and entrepreneurial, but also expansive, and maybe has to do with philosophy or higher education or children and maybe languages. But I'll like to talk about it a lot because my Venus that disposits Saturn is sextile to my Gemini Mercury.
I am Chiron, and I'm in a secret area. I have my hurts because can I be myself? But by gosh, I'm not going to let anybody know about it because I can see over there that I can talk just as much as I want because I've got my friends there. I mean, there's other fire energy. I've got a lot of spirit going on. There's Mars that's got to talk about what it is because it's in Sagittarius. I got opinions. I mean, wasn't I born to have opinions? Isn't it right for me to have opinions? Nobody needs to know my private stuff. I'm me.
I am the south node, the lunar south node, Ketu, in the 3rd house of communications. And I come into this life with a very logical, rational way of looking at the world scientifically. But my opposite, my twin, is in Pisces in the 9th house of publishing and higher education. And so life for me is all about, is it true or is it not true?
Go ahead. I apologize. That's right. My wounds are really out there all the time. I just think they're in the 8th house. They're in the 9th. Go ahead, Marie.
I am Eris in Aries, and I am here to throw a monkey wrench in everything that I hear that is not truth, that is not, I am a warrior, and I am going to throw that ball out there to show everyone their shadow. I do it without thinking. I do it because that is my essence, that is my job, and I help other people to see their problems through what I emanate out into the world.
Let's reveal this, shall we? Is there anybody that has, so we have about 8,
Well,
10. No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, seeing the Saturn there and the T-square to the ascendant descendant, I forget who pointed that out, but I thought that was grand, because it's like, here, I am the authority, but I'm really dramatic. So you may not, you might want to take me with a grain of salt type of.
Well, the Jupiter Pluto trining the sun moon says that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sextiling Neptune. I mean, there's and then also there's some sort of awareness, right? There's some sort of work, some sort of transformational service he's been working on for some time in these past lifetimes.
Yeah.
But then he's got the wounding, and his goal is somewhat spiritual, and yet there's the wound right there that says, oh, we really can't share who we are.
Yeah. Well, again, his luminary is ruled by Taurus, a Venus sign, and that Venus being in Aries at the midheaven trine his Mars. One of the things that he has been so known for lately is actually his relationship with his wife. And even if he kind of glorifies traditional relationship values, Tucker Carlson, the person.
That's who it is?
Yeah. It was revealed early on. Oh, really? We didn't know that.
Oh, was it?
I didn't know.
I accidentally goofed.
But
it is Tucker Carlson.
How to listen to the feminine sometimes. He really does say, sometimes I think she's mad, or feminine intuition is mad, but the more that I sink into it, the more I realize how much knowledge is there to take. And so I feel like that's
was he an athlete?
No, Tucker Carlson.
He just got ousted from Fox.
He had in 2016. That's right. I need to explain. He was the talk host of the station, and because of Trump's, he strongly supported the Trump storyline, not to get political here, but just as a fact. And therefore the station was sued, a lot of money for liable. I think it was liable because it wasn't, grounded in factual court facts. And therefore he was cut. And that happened April 16th, I think, that he was, let's see. No, when I have his chart when he was
this week,
cut.
I think.
Yeah, it was very recent. And so people are still reeling. I mean, if you go into trends, people are still talking a fair amount about.
But I wonder,
what's
did he
gonna
play
happen.
sports in his youth? Because it made me wonder with Mars in the fifth.
Mars and Sag, yeah. What I was thinking, that same thing, Jennifer, but I think it, sometimes I've seen that energy also come out in the way of how he expresses himself.
Yeah.
It's exhibiting in a different way, possibly.
Yeah. And I know, if I'm correct, he comes from a lineage of his mother was a famous artist, or is a famous artist. He comes from
a lot of wealth.
Yeah, and status and fame. And so I believe I remember reading, and not recently, about his family, and I thought one of either his mother or his aunt or grandmother, they
were from the Swanson, the heiress to the Swanson industry.
And one of them's an artist.
Again, all his Taurus planets and that, Venus at the top of the chart, he really comes from powerful women and actually celebrates them.
Yeah.
Yeah, very opinionated.
Yeah. And I really.
And I don't see how it celebrates women, but okay.
Well, I guess
well, in his mind, okay, everything is relative.
Yeah.
Like I said, in his values, he has very traditional values. However, in those values, he celebrates women.
Well, women will be quite
member of the Dan White Society.
Well, I guess women are in charge in his life, I would think.
Yeah, Israel was saying something.
I was going to say, I think women definitely are very potent in his life. I mean, to have a very powerful Venus like that on the angle on the MC, even though she is in detriment, but nevertheless, his moon is exalted in the 11th house. That says to me that there is definitely a very powerful matriarchal supportive background here for sure.
I did hear an interview that he gave, I guess, where women are supporting him because of something that he said about women. He's he acknowledges that women are quite different and think differently than he does. And he also says that he's learned he needs to pay attention to them because, he's learned that, and that they have a different way of seeing things, and it's actually benefited him to pay attention to what women are saying.
That's a great maverick use of his Uranus and Libra on his IC, and then Venus and Aries on his midheaven. That's a great
It is. And he really admits he's like, there's blind spots that he has.
And I will say to our public, because we're enjoying ourselves so much here, that we have quite a few authors. And when you brought up Mavericks, that you have a book, that Michael has a book on Maverick planets besides Astro Drama. And Marie has a book, and The Lotus Opened. And let's see, I think, Justin, you have a book and you're writing one. You have... it was
a memoir.
Yes. And the name of it again is
Playing by the Rules.
Playing by the Rules. I love that. I love that title. Yes. So
that's not individuation if you're playing by the rules.
Well, tongue in cheek, right?
Depends on these rules.
No, looking at this chart really quickly, I was going to say something because I listened to his talk or his quick thing after he got let go of Fox, and I'm listening to how he communicates, and that Virgo really comes through a lot. That whatever he presents as a real fact. He tries to be very exacting in his communications. It's very Virgo-like, even though Mercury's in Gemini.
I was thinking about that particular signature in his chart too, because it was just last year that we had Jupiter and Pluto. Let me think. It was a Pluto.
The Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn a few years back?
Yeah, exactly. And so, I guess so. Yeah,
I'm beginning to think. Saturn conjunction in Aquarius also as well.
Well, you and I did Pluto... No, Neptune, and maybe I'm getting it confused with Neptune and Jupiter last year.
Neptune and Jupiter, right?
Yeah, that was last year. But still, when you look at this configuration, for whatever reason I looked at it, it is so compelled. That the obsessive part of Pluto, and then the expansive part of Jupiter, they can think they do know. I mean, they can do a lot of positive, but they can also get really carried away.
But all of it's retrograde, so I mean, it's very self-rationalized, and it's subjective below the horizon on top of it. So I mean, there's really quite. I mean, it's good that he. Well, first of all, I mean, it's nice because he's got a lot of personal planets. Most of the personal planets are above the horizon, so he understands that he needs other counsel. And I don't know about you all, but I find that there's usually strong for people who publish or who are in journalism that Taurus placements are pretty strong.
Interesting. Well, wonderful. And I want to thank immediately before we take a break, going from the top up there, Marie O'Neill, Michael Bartlett, Justin Crockett, Elzie. Now everybody's changed. Israel Ajose, Ray Sapp, Jen Ing, and Sean Kelley. Thank you. This is Astro Jam, and we'll come back for scene 2. While we take a break from this week's edition of Talk Cosmos, let's take a look at this cycle's archetype. We're currently in the period of Taurus. By leaving a cycle based upon initiation, the energy of Taurus integrates spirit into a solid form of matter that is tangible and physical. It's an earth sign, concerned with self-sufficiency and the values to maintain the strength of a life form throughout its survival.
This is Martha Norwalk. Every Sunday morning, beginning at 9 a.m., thanks in part to NewProSupplements.com, we cover the world of animals. This week, May 7th, it's Shelter Rescue Sanctuary and anything that helps our animal friends Sunday. We'll check in with our regulars, Meow Cat Rescue, Help Animals India, and Seattle Dogs Homeless Program. Plus, we'll chat with the Ananda Institute of Living Yoga to find out all the great stuff happening there this month. Martha Norwalk's Animal World, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to noon, right here on Alternative Talk, AM 1150.
Talk Cosmos brings you leading-edge astrological conversations with hour-long programs each week on KKNW. The show goes live every Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific. Talk Cosmos weekly programs are also available to watch live on Facebook and YouTube, along with daily chats throughout the week on the Talk Cosmos YouTube channel. While you're there, make sure you click like and subscribe buttons so you can get the full Talk Cosmos experience. Or, if you'd rather listen to the show archives with audio only, the entire podcast collection since 2018 is available on most podcast carriers. So, grab your coffee, tea, or kombucha and enjoy the show.
Need help getting started with self-help? You came to the right place. Alternative Talk 1150.
Everybody, thank you so much for subscribing to Talk Cosmos. This little portion, we always ask everybody what event is coming up in their life that they can present pretty quickly. And I'll begin because I was just encouraged to start an NCGR. I was going to say what all those words meant. Chapter in Hawaii, the Hawaii Islands NCGR chapter. So it's very exciting because today, it's been a month, and I feel like Pele here just exploding, but today is the last day to join at discounted rates. All the big guys, ESAR, OPA, are raising their rates as of right now, soon. So in other words, you can get in at the usual rate, and also Linda Bird, who's the new president, has worked with software, classes, many opportunities that you get a discount. So if you utilize those discounts, you're going to pay for your $55 a year or 3 years for $150, because all these have some fee. But the point is that it will be, if you join, and then you can join because everything's virtual. The islands are virtual anyway. I can't be on all 4 islands or more. And so we're going to have it online. And they have 3 magazines that go out a month. They have, of course, 12 different webinars through the different groups. It'll be exciting. So bottom line is, go to NCGR, which is National Geo Center of, where in the heck is this thing? I remember all these different names. Boy, great. Aren't I great? Okay, Sue, quick, spit it out. National Council for Geocosmic Research, which is exciting too because of research. Okay, enough of me. Let's go to the team. Who has, Marie, do you have anything immediate that you're presenting?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have a class beginning on May 20th through Kepler College, Fundamentals of Life Coaching for Astrologers. And it's giving astrologers life coaching tools that they can use with their clients. That starts May 20th. It's actually a 10-week course, but it's broken into 5-week sessions. So you get the first part 1, 5 weeks, and then in July, the second part begins.
Cool. Oh, that's great. Mm-hmm. Okay. And let's see, Nathan, yes. Justin, do you have any kind of classes?
Yeah, I have a workshop coming up called Astrological Yoga. I'm actually a yoga instructor, so I'll be doing a workshop on and it'll be involved with yoga, and so that'll be advertised coming up this summer, and it'll be online and in person.
Now, would that be through your website, or is there a group that you would?
I will announce it. Yes.
Okay, very good. So if questions, just ask Justin. Ray, what event would you like to announce?
Our Cancer solstice issue is going to be launching on Monday of the Mountain Astrologer magazine. It's a really exciting new issue. So if you are not a subscriber, you should become one, or take a peek at one of your local bookstores and pick it up. We are also in the process of kind of creating this new, it's called the Neptune Underground, and it is the mertale for our mountain goat of a publication. And it's going to be a really playful space that's really kind of dedicated to the philosophies of the confessional poetry movement, and how to use confessional poetry in alignment with your own transit and play with it that way. So,
I love this. I've written poetry all my life. I keep thinking I want to subscribe. And also, Mountain Astrologer has a discount involved if you get on today. Some of that one ends today, but many of them that are software extend further. But that's another one that you can jump into. Jen, have you something you would like to announce?
Yes, thank you, Sue. I wanted to share that I'll be working on the International Academy of Astrology Cardinal Cancer Ingress podcast featuring Sam F. Reynolds and founder Ina Stanley. And if listeners are interested in Astro Jam, Astrology Toronto, of which I'm a former co-president and board member, is hosting an in-person event featuring Jason Hawley the weekend in person of June 2nd to 4th. So I just wanted to plug that for the locale.
Oh, goody. Okay. And I just see now too, maybe, Nathan, we can put up the panels so that the person could be next to it. And then can you put the person larger next
and
to
if
it?
I could say, I'm open for consultations. I'm currently doing medical astrology with Lee Lehman, the stamp 2, and I do Chinese astrology and regular Western astrology.
And I will say that every thank you for bringing that up, Jen. All the astrologers have their focuses, and so that would be great. Israel, hello.
Hello,
England.
yeah.
Yes. How would you like to share?
Yeah, well, for me, I've got two upcoming courses. One is a horary course. For those of you who know, I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of horary, but if not, it's the idea of being able to answer a question by erecting a chart of the moment. That course is going to be a 7-week course, and that's starting on the 24th of May on Wednesday. It will start at 7:30 p.m. UK time. And the next day on the 25th of May, I will be starting it's astrology for beginners. And it's traditional, medieval, and modern psychology, astrology, all fused. And I will be teaching the approaches, the understandings, the methods and techniques. And that's going to be a 10-week course. And all the details are there also on my website as well. And that's for complete beginners who just want to take it from the grassroots up. So that will be on the 25th of May.
Okay. And so for folks, I think when Israel says you're referring to sacred plants. Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, sacred plants.
Thank you. So, Sean, do you have something that you are
putting out the rest of these great astrologers? No, I don't. But boy,
I know you're
all for that.
That's okay. I know that you were doing a workshop and that you've done lectures, but if it's not right in queue right now, that's okay.
No. I have so many other things of focus that are
I know you're
in need of my attention. That
you just had snow beyond your roof, so
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you did. Michael, perhaps you'll finish us with what you might have coming up, if you have something.
Sure. On June 22nd, I'll be doing a free webinar for Kepler College on astrological mavericks. Do you have what it takes to change the world? So if you have planets in the same sign as your angles, doesn't really matter what house system you use. It's really just basically the same sign. The closer it is to the angle, the more powerful they tend to be. But I find that even with the wider angles, wider orbs, they still work. Also, I am helping Ellie, or being a guest lecturer for Ellie Gully's course 103 for Kepler College. I'm doing, just finished one on synthesis of the chart, and the next one I'll be doing is challenging placements.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Lock, stock, and barrel. And we have all the websites here. So we will jump into, and remember about NCGR. Do go to their website, which is, what is it? It's a little tricky. Oh, it's geocosmic.org is an organization. So check it out, and it'll be fun if we can have this Hawaii adventure. All right, here we have, and just to explain a little bit, when it says Astro Jam chart 2-4, that's today. And again, it's a 20th century chart. And I have identified around the side. So it has Venus, Scorpio, Chiron in Sag, Jupiter in Capricorn, the moon in Aquarius, the ascendant in Aquarius. Then we have Eris, North Node in Aries, Uranus in Cancer, Pluto and Mars in Leo, and South Node, Ceres, Neptune, Mercury, Sun in Libra, and last but not least, Saturn in Virgo. So for those people in the podcast, if that adds up, you will find out later what this is, and you can find it yourself. But we will begin. So I think...
I don't know what it is, but I know when it is. This is an October 1949 chart.
All right, we've got that nailed down. So I think I'll start with the ascendant again. I'm the ascendant in Aquarius, and I want to network with my like-minded people and think of the group. The group is so important. It really overtakes any kind of energy that the individual has. But it's sort of debatable because I see that emotionally, I do realize that there's some difficulty and trauma with that. Why it's hard to find my group, but it's also where I attach a lot of meaningfulness to that like-minded group. And I'm going to defend it, by gosh, because that's what moons do, because the moon is so close to my ascendant.
I'm that moon in Aquarius on the ascendant in the 12th house, loving the buzz of the city, the highlights I get connecting, and yet also needing wide open spaces to retreat totally to myself, completely unintruded upon by the external world.
I am the Venus in Scorpio, and I love very deep. I love with intensity. Till death do us part. Occasionally I can feel somewhat insecure about my love or romantic situations. However, I am seeking deep emotional trust. I love on a very deep level. I do not do surface love. And I'm in the 9th house, so I'm attracted to people who are philosophical, perhaps spiritual, or perhaps people who are from different cultural backgrounds or foreign backgrounds also as well. And I also have a great love for philosophy and ideology and higher learning and long distance traveling. That's who I am.
Well, I'm an intense lover with my Pluto and Mars in Leo. It's kind of my way or the highway. And yet when you see me, I might be a bit aloof because with my moon in Aquarius, I'm a bit my own canvas for my own individuality. And I'm a creative soul that really needs to speak my truth with that stellium in Libra in the 9th house.
Well, I am Mars in Leo, and it is definitely all about me in relationships. Everything revolves around me. Hear me roar. I want to be on stage. I'm a lot of fun though. I'm definitely fun in relationships. I'd like to play. But I have to say, I will fight to be heard and to be the center of attention. And if you turn your back on me, watch out.
I am Uranus and Cancer. And so I'm in the fifth house, and I see family from an outsider's perspective or a different perspective. I'm more apt to take anybody that's outside my nuclear family as my family. So I think I'm sort of the rebellion revolution type when it comes to family. And because I'm in the fifth house and Jupiter's in the house of the womb, I may have some issues with, may not have my own children, but take on others' children as well.
I am also Pluto in the seventh house, conjoined Mars. And this gives me a really deep intensity and passion that I have to work with my attachment and intensity in relationships square Venus. And I definitely don't do surface level, but I can appear balanced and detached because of my air signs, planets and air signs with my sun in Libra. I can be very diplomatic and strategic. So you may not know that I'm intense, but I really seek truth because I have my ruler of the 8th, Mercury in the 8th with my sun in Libra. And my moon is in an air sign in Aquarius. And my moon being in the 12th, but on the ascendant, I do have my pulse to what's going on outside in my daily interactions.
I am Mercury conjunct Neptune conjunct Ceres, conjunct my south node, and I am so exquisite at manipulating things to get what I want, and I'm so good at taking what looks like to be just the most disgusting thing ever and making it look and beautiful and smell like roses.
I am also that sun in Libra, catching up with Mercury, Neptune, Ceres, and the South Node. And while I want us all to get along, and I will play the diplomat, with Uranus square me, I will sometimes rock the boat and say things just to make us all disagree.
I am Jupiter in the 12th house in Capricorn, and I like to meditate. I like to experience metaphysical I like to explore metaphysical areas. I like to be by myself. I like to chill out, meditate, do yoga, contemplate.
I am, go ahead. I am the North Node in Aries in the second house. I am here to develop my courage. I am here to develop, which will help me develop my self-esteem and my self-worth, and it'll help me to learn what it is I value. In order to develop that courage or to have that courage and to be authentic to myself, I have to get out of this mode of wanting to please other people, wanting to not rock the boat. I have to speak up. I have to heal the South Node issues that I have inside relationships, because I can tell little white lies just to make things easy, and yet I am to work on my courage.
I am so glad to always have that courage, because I am Chiron in the fire sign of Sagittarius, which has my beliefs, but are my beliefs? It's not that I don't know my beliefs. I do, but yet who out in the world knows my beliefs, and who out in the world is going to allow me to live just like I want and let me produce them? Because it's all this. There's a lot of support. I feel support. Like, yes, that's the direction I'm going to go, but yet it's tricky. And I think, and I remember too, I happen to be at the same degree that Ixion, the dwarf planet, was. And Ixion, in that, if I remember in my philosophy of higher learning, thinking about this, that Ixion had double chances and was, until it learned host relationships. Because yes, I know Ixion did burn his father-in-law and also wanted to rape, well, excuse that word, but anyway, with Zeus's wife, Juno. But the fact is that Ixion can turn a corner. And if I wonder if that is what is being seen somehow in my relationships here in the external world of capacity of my job. But I'm going to be very powerful. I'm going to take those beliefs and show the world that I can do a second chance.
Hey, I was
my
going to say,
yod from Uranus to the moon to Chiron makes me want to be a very individualized self, and yet I find it hard because I need to be relating to people, and yet I have so much that I have to say about what my inner truth is. Mm-hmm. And I've been outcast most of my life.
Wow.
I am the sun again in Libra, and I really am curious about research. I think I might feel my best researching about relationships and maybe spiritualities or beliefs with Jupiter and Moon in the 12th. And with my Mars and Pluto in the Sun and Venus in Scorpio, I may be very driven to research about relationships and research.
Thank you. We have only a few minutes. I would love to show what this is. Does somebody have something they want to spit out?
About September 30th or October 1st, 1949.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so here we are. Since I already showed it, it is China. It in the most recent for the People's Republic of China, which is fascinating. And what I found out was also, if I did the directed, I love directed charts. I was curious, like, why is this? Because China keeps coming up in the news a lot, as we understand, but there's so much. And if you can see that the nodes, look at that, the nodes just, the south and north node just went into Capricorn. So that's evident. So now let's look at the biwheel. We have the biwheel. There's the moon, if this chart is, and I think I got this chart from from Solar Fire. So I hope it's correct. But the natal moon has Venus right on it for values, and then the solar arc. And for those people that don't know what solar arc is, it's a more sophisticated way of measuring time, and it gives energies that are working at this moment in time. So I did this as of today. So here you have the moon on the north node of the autonomy of being themselves, but then also of that individuality of moon thinking.
Yeah, and Uranus is in the 8th house, because that Saturn is a blockage, and that's a blockage to intimacy.
Oh, I find that very interesting, because this is like, China is a very old country, and this is like the communist China.
Yes.
And it's interesting with Uranus and Cancer because of the one-child policy.
I was just thinking the same thing.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
And
very.
I will write down, there are two other great, in 221 BC, it was a unification under the Qin, Q-I-N dynasty. And in January 1912, the Qin, January, King, Q-I-G dynasty was replaced by the Republic of China. So of course, I mean, it's so ancient. I mean, 2,000 years of dynasty rule was supplanted. And, you know, as a culture, you would say it's the oldest, probably, with India.
Oh, one
perhaps.
of them. I mean,
One of them.
Maybe ancient.
Definitely.
Yeah, how fascinating. Well, thank you.
Great
was
stuff.
you.
That was a rush. Thanks a lot, Sid.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you all. You're just so tremendous. That's Sarai Sapp, Justin Crockett, Elzie, Marie O'Neill, Jen Ning, Israel Ajose, Michael Bartlett, and Sean Kelley. Thank you, everybody, and to our wonderful fans. Subscribe, look at their online, and join.
Thank you for joining us on Talk Cosmos, the show where Sue Rose Minahan and her panel of guests connect soul growth patterns with the energetic cycles of astrology. Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time to continue your journey through the roots of the cosmic pathway.